Hi everyone, I'm back again, and if you don't already know, my name is Becca. I am 19 years old and I am dating a recruit, a United States Marine recruit. His name is Jacob and he just left for boot camp on Monday. It's Tuesday, so yesterday. And today is July 22nd, I believe. I should have checked that before I started this, but I believe it's July 22nd. And if he graduates on time, will be graduating October 17th, which is a Friday. So if you know anything about the Marines, you know that they usually always graduate on a Friday unless it's a holiday or some other reason, then they would do it on a Wednesday. But if that's the case with your Marines graduation date, you would know that in advance. So they would let you know that. But today I'm going to talk to you about the first phone call home, which my boyfriend's parents got last night. So it was after I made my video last night. I was already in bed because I wake up early. It was like 10:30 and they get this phone call, and if you don't know about the first phone call, its sole purpose is to call home to let their parents know that they arrived safely. And this phone call is basically them screaming into the phone that they've got there safely. And I'll tell you, like, the script. But, yeah, they don't get to say whatever they want. There's an exact script that they get to read where they're told to say. And the Marine, I assume the Marines are there yelling at them to yell it and say it faster. And I'm not going to play the actual recording for you. His parents were awesome and recorded it, and so I got to listen to it. I'm not going to play it for you because that's kind of private, and that would be Jacob's decision to share. But I'll tell you what it said. I wrote it down. So you'll just have to imagine a 18-year-old boy screaming this through the phone as fast as he can. But what they say is, "Hello, this is recruit, insert last name here. I have arrived safely at MCRD San Diego. The next time I contact you will be by postal mail, so expect a letter in 2 weeks to 3 weeks. I love you. Goodbye." So that's what he said, and literally his dad said hello. He shouted this, and then his dad said, "See ya, Jake." Like, and click. That was it. There's no time for anything else. But it's nice that they at least let them say I love you. And even though I knew he wasn't saying that to me in the call, but it was nice to hear those words again, especially since I won't be hearing them for a while. But yeah, so if you're a parent and you get this call, or I guess if it's your husband and you're the wife, maybe the call would go to you instead. But don't expect to be able to sit on the phone and chat. Yeah, it's not happening. Yeah, so honestly, the phone call when I heard the recording was extremely hard to listen to. I've never heard Jake yell or scream or anything like that, and so it kind of just gives you this pain in your chest hearing him like that, because you're thinking, like, what could be so wrong that he's screaming like that? But you just have to remember that it's what they have to do. It's what they're being told to do. And I kind of wish that the Marines would just, like, allow them to call home and not yell, because, like, they're the ones at boot camp, not the parents. So it'd be nice just to get one nice call, you know, just to talk nicely. Like, they could say the same thing, just if they could talk nicely. But that's not the way it is, and we can't change that. It's the military, so there's no changing it. But nonetheless, it was a nice phone call to receive, I guess, just to know that they're there safely. So you can look forward to that. And Jake thought that he might get to the base around like 2:30 in the morning, so the phone call would be that early. But we got it at 10:30 our time, and there's a 3-hour time difference, so it was like 7:30 his time at night. So I mean, that's not late at all. But yeah, you can expect that call, I think, soon after they arrive at, I don't think it's considered a base, Pendleton's the nearest base to where he is in San Diego, though. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is some basic letter writing tips. So if you plan on writing your Marine, well, your recruit, this is one of the tips I'll talk about. Don't call him a Marine. But if you plan on writing your recruit a letter, you should probably look up some tips, like how hard can it be to write a letter, right? But no, when you're writing a letter to your recruit, it's a little different than if you were just writing a letter to him at Boy Scout camp. So some basic tips are: 1, write a lot of letters. A lot of letters. And you want to stay positive. You don't want to tell him a bunch of negative stuff, and don't say things like, I wish you weren't doing this, or I wish you'd made a different decision. He doesn't need to, and he doesn't want to hear that. He is there, and he is having a hard enough time, I guarantee, without hearing your negative comments. So only positive. And if you have really harsh or negative thoughts toward him being there, write a letter and then don't send it, or send it to yourself. Or put it aside and really think about it, because you don't want to ruin him. Don't be the one to break him. Let the Marines do the breaking. So yeah, that's the first tip. The second tip for letter writing is do not spray it with perfume, put kisses on it, put stickers on the outside. Don't put any quotes or anything on the outside of that envelope that will draw attention. You should only have your return address, your recruit's address, which will be recruit, insert last name here, and then his platoon, or you'll get his address. And we don't have Jacob's yet, but so no stickers, no nothing. Don't even spray the letter itself thinking, oh, it will be in the envelope. No. You don't want any extra attention drawn to your Marine at mail call. None. They will get in trouble if you put a kiss on the outside of the envelope. And the last thing you want is to get your recruit in trouble, because I can only imagine what getting in trouble at boot camp is like. I don't want to know. Another thing is, do not refer to your son, your boyfriend, your husband, your brother, whoever he or she is, as a Marine. They are not a Marine until they get their PIN and they graduate MCRD. I think it's MCRD. Yep. They're not a Marine until they graduate. Just remember that. So do not call them a Marine. They are a recruit. Just recruit, nothing else. Recruit Johnson, recruit Erickson, recruit whatever. Recruit, not Marine. Remember that, because they will get in so much trouble. And there's a couple stories online about men who went there wearing a t-shirt that said Marine, and they get in trouble for that because they're not. Or a guy who had a tattoo that said USMC. They don't get the privilege of using that title until they graduate and make it through boot camp. So another thing is no care packages. None. Don't send anything. Also, no pictures, no glitter in the envelopes, nothing. They will get in trouble if you send a care package, and I doubt they will get it. Jacob was telling me before that he thought that if you sent if I sent a package of pens, they don't go to him. They get divided up, if even. But he'll still get in trouble, I think. Just to be safe, nothing. Don't send anything unless they specifically ask for it. I let my boyfriend know, hey, if you want and you need an extra piece of paper to write back on, I'd more than happy put an extra piece of paper in the envelope, but only if that's okay. I don't want you to get in trouble for it. So he'll let me know. But they also have a place where they can buy paper and envelopes. I just figured if I could save him a dime, but we'll see if that's even allowed. Okay, also another tip just in general is, if you can, go to graduation. Do not miss it. This is a day that your then Marine will remember for the rest of his life. And like, I'd say this is way more important than a high school graduation, or for them a college graduation, because this is their graduation and they've accomplished something so huge, so huge. Like, I can't even imagine the happiness that he will feel when he graduates and becomes a Marine. So if you can go there, be there. And I am hoping that I get to go. My boyfriend's parents are totally amazing, awesome, spectacular, loving people. There's not enough words to describe how perfect they are. But they have been extremely generous to me and have taken me on multiple vacations. So I'm hoping that we'll all get to go to San Diego together also. I know it would be a dream come true. So if you can go, go. And if you don't have someone to go with, go by yourself. Like, if you don't have the funds, try to get the funds, because you should be there. Find a way, because this day is so important. And there's no limit on how many people your Marine can have at his graduation. And I'll make another video probably later on talking more about graduation, all that shenanigans. But just remember, plan to go to his graduation no matter where you live. I don't care if you live in New York, try to go. And then my last tip is, do not ever walk on the parade deck when you're at boot camp for family day or graduation. This is like a huge no-no. And the thing is, your Marine gets in trouble for all the things you do that you're not supposed to. You might not get in trouble, but your Marine is going to be in so much trouble. So don't be that person who walks on the parade deck. I'm under the impression that the one and only time you can is after they graduate and like all the families run down to hug their Marine and meet their Marine again. But that might be false even, so if I find out more information on that, I'll get it to you. But don't be that person who walks on the parade deck. Okay. Okay, and I just wanted to let you all know that all these tips came from an excellent website that you can feel free to check out. It's where I've been getting a lot of my information from, but it's www.recruitparents.com, and I will post the link to that in the description of this video. And there's also a website, www.marineparents.com, which has more information on like after boot camp, but there's a link there to boot camp, and that leads you to the recruitparents.com website. So this is where I've been getting a lot of my information, and I will probably use it for a lot of my videos. So feel free to check it out and read. There's a lot of stuff to read on it, more than you can even imagine. So go and learn everything. Like, read the history of the Marines and the terminology, and just learn, because if you're going to be a big part of your recruit, soon to be Marine's life, it's important that you understand the military, the terminology, what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go. So study. Like, your Marines have boot camp, but you should be, it's basically like a big online class. Study, study, study. Okay, I think that's it for tonight. Nothing new, I don't know anything new about Jacob yet. This would have been his first night there, so he's had his hair shaved off by now, so he's bald. It's lovely. But I will let you know if I get any news about how the first week or two went. I won't get a letter for 2 weeks. So yeah, have a good night, and don't forget to subscribe or like my videos. Post links to yours, and I will do the same. Thank you everybody for watching this. Good night.